evaluating algebraic expressions now that we have practiced distributing and combining like terms. And this will kind of give us some more complex evaluation of algebraic expressions. So in this first one, we have p squared m divided by 4. Use m equals 4 and p equals 7. So I'm going to replace each of these variables with parentheses. Don't forget that squared right there. Oops. Divided by 4. And also it's important to realize m squared p means that these together are being multiplied. So it's the same as saying p squared times m. So then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to replace those variables with their number equivalent. So m equals 4. So I'm going to replace where that m was with a 4 and the p with a 7. So then I'm going to remember my PEMDAS. So parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. So we have no parentheses, no equations in parentheses. Then we have exponents. So 7 squared is 49 times 4 divided by 4. So then we do multiplication. So 49 times 4. This is one of those things where I don't expect you to do it in your head. So please go ahead and use a calculator, which will give you 196. Then we have divided by 4. So again, divided by 4 will give you 49. All right, then this next one we have z minus y divided by 3 minus 1. So with these, we don't even have to distribute this before we plug in the numbers. I find that it's actually easier to plug in the numbers than try to distribute before doing all of that. So you can really save yourself some time if you just go ahead and start by doing the parentheses. And it's okay to double parentheses just because it's easier for you to make sense of everything. So y equals 3, so I'm going to put a 3 right here, and z equals 7. So let's do our PEMDAS. So because of PEMDAS, we have to do this parenthesis part first. So PEMDAS, so we're doing parentheses, and then within the parentheses, we've got to do that division first. So always follow your orders of operation. 3 divided by 3 is 1. Minus 1 will give us 0. And then we're going to bring this rest of this equation down here. So you have 7 minus 0, which will give us 7. Again, you can also put this entire equation into your calculator with your parentheses and all, and it'll give you the same answer if you put it in correctly. So you can also practice putting things in your calculator. All right, so we have parentheses m plus q squared minus 5 minus 5, minus 5 minus 5. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put this in parentheses. So p plus q squared minus 5 minus 5. So I'm going to go ahead and replace p with 1 and q with 1. So we'll do what's in parentheses. So 1 plus 1, and then we'll also do 5 plus 5. So we have 1. You can't forget this squared. So 1 squared minus, and then we have 5 minus 5, which gives us 0. So then we have 1 squared will give us 1 minus 0. It gives us 1. So again, even though these problems, like from the beginning, this looks complicated, it looks scary. Once we break it down, we have something as easy as 1 minus 0 as our final piece of the equation. So these get really, really easy. So don't get discouraged. You really will get to the same answers. All right, so then we have this long one right here, y over 2 plus x minus 4, or plus 4 plus z plus y. So start by doing your parentheses. I'm going to put this over 2 like this, just so it's easier for me to make sense of it. 4 plus z plus y. So it says x is 7, so my x is here, so I'm going to put a 7. Y is 2, so we have a y here and a y here, and then z is 4. So I'm going to start by doing my division first because we have no parentheses, no exponents, no multiplication. So I'm going to do this part first. 2 divided by 2, I'm going to write it over here. Give me 1 plus 7 plus 4 plus 4 plus 2. You can do that in your calculator. So 1 plus 7 will give you 8, plus 4 is 12, plus 4 is 16. Wait, did I do that? 12, 4, 16, 18. All right, so that's how you're going to go ahead and evaluate these algebraic expressions. So it's very similar to the previous algebraic expressions that we've done. So go ahead and try these next two on your So let's go ahead and finish up this unit. So we're going to start by going ahead and putting in our parentheses wherever we see a variable. So y minus 4 minus x minus y divided by 2. So we have a 2 for the y's and a 3 for that x. So if we're following our PEMDAS rules, that means we have to do what's in parentheses first. And then when we're in those parentheses, we still have to follow PEMDAS. So we're going to look at our division first. So 2 divided by 2 will give us 1. So we have 4 minus 3 minus 1 will give us 0. So then we have this first part of the equation. So we have 2 minus, and then whatever we got in parentheses, 2 minus 0 will give us 2. All right, and then this one down here, we have 12k minus h squared. For k, we have 3. For h, we have 2. So again, following our PEMDAS rules, we have to do our exponents first. So 2 squared would mean 2 times 2, which is 4. And then we have to do our multiplication. So since these are right next to each other, that means we're multiplying. So 12 times 3 will give us 36 minus 4, which will give us 32 for our final answer. All right, that goes ahead and finishes up our Unit 7 and starts our whole algebra section